This episode of Conspiracy Craft is brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial and to get a free book, head on over to audible.com/gamebreaker.
Gamebreaker TV.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Conspiracy Craft, episode 1 for April 16, 2013. Coming up on today's show, Rebellion is coming to the Horde, but who could be the next Warchief? We run down the potential candidates, and we throw our guesses into the lot as well. First, from WoWinsider.com and right here on GameBreaker.tv, it's the one, the only Olivia D. Grace. How are you, Liv?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm excited to learn and find out more about Warchiefs and
I
things.
know, this is like a whole new
thing.
thing.
It's good. It's an exciting thing for me.
Joining us for the first time on any of our shows, right from Gamebreaker, it's Adrian, aka Missy. How are you, Missy?
I'm doing well. I'm extremely nervous.
Well, you are like our resident lore encyclopedia.
Just say it, Gary.
here.
Just say it. Just say
red shirt. I'm just a red shirt.
She's wearing a red top. She's wearing a red top to emphasize her red shirtness.
I didn't say that. But I'm extremely excited for this show. I mean, I'm going to start learning some stuff. And the cool thing about this show is it's a World of Warcraft lore show, but we're not necessarily going to we're not going to go backwards. We're going to go forward, get our tinfoil hat on. But I think we're also going to learn a lot of stuff about the lore from the past in the meantime. So let's get right to it. All right, we talked a little bit about this on Legendary not that long ago. We talked about who could possibly be the next war chief. So first, what's up with Garrosh? I mean, he was appointed.
What is up with that guy?
He was appointed war chief. Now he's hated for taking Thrall's place. Why does everybody hate him?
Well, the thing about Garrosh is that he was started out as a really young orc. All he's known is war and demons. It's kind of influenced a lot of his life. On top of that, his dad did amazing stuff, oh my god, got rid of the demon blood, whatever. And for a while there he hated it, but Thrall was just like, dude, your dad was a savior. Come to Azeroth and all that stuff. So now he's off really pissing off his own guys.
Since he's saying he's got daddy issues, basically Garrosh has major daddy issues.
Yes, he has complete family issues. Supposedly he was abandoned by his mother because he had red pox, so he wasn't even part of the war stuff.
Red pox.
Family issues.
It's like a sort of the Horde version of measles. He's got the red pox.
Yes.
Poor Garrosh, man. I thought he was this brutal, heartless dude, but he was just abandoned by his mum because he had measles.
Pretty much.
His dad was an overachiever. He's trying to live up to his father.
And then on top of that, the Blackrock clan has come out of the Blackrock Spire, and now he's got basically the second in command from them, with Malkrok being his advisor, and most of the Blackrock are in his elite forces, the Kokron. I can never say that.
Yeah, Korkron, isn't it?
I think so.
Let's go with that for now. That's pretty cool. Why don't people like him? Do you think players like Garrosh? I mean, I play principally Alliance. I sure as heck don't like Garrosh. Do you think Horde players are yeah, Garrosh, man, he rocks?
It's a mix between two. Some of the Horde people are just oh my god, we're back to going, taking over the world as orcs, and then the rest of us are just what happened to family? Why are you locking up the trolls and having your people just pretty much make mine and slave, man? I mean, come on, we're family.
It's kind of interesting though, because to me, I don't know, maybe it's an outsider's perspective, but the Horde feels like it should be this bloodthirsty band of angry orcs going and smashing stuff up and taking things over. But I guess, is it that they're picking on the trolls? Is that what people are really anti with Garrosh? And some of his other actions that he's taken?
He's very pro-orc. It's all about the orcs, really. And he sees all the other factions that are within the Horde as just another extension of war. I mean, it's just another weapon that you can cast away and replace with somebody else later, all for the glory of one faction, which is just the orcs.
So he's the orc guy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all about so he's going away as Warchief at the end of Pandaria. We kind of know that already with the whole Siege of Orgrimmar thing in patch 5.4. We're getting the build up to that on the PTR, and I'm sure you've been checking that out as well. So who's it going to be? I mean, there's got to be some various options coming in for taking the Warchief title. What's your sort of thinking on that? Who are the likely candidates? Put it that way.
The most likely candidate at the start right now is Voljin, who is the leader of the Darkspear Trolls. If Thrall doesn't take the title back, there's always that option. But he's openly opposed Garrosh. He's had an assassination attempt on him by Garrosh. So, and it failed. And he also remembers what Thrall wanted for the Horde at the same time.
Because didn't he basically, wasn't he one of the sort of founding father figures of Thrall's idea around the Horde?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. And then there's another option, which is Lorthamar Theron, who is the leader of the Blood Elves.
Who? What?
Yeah, it's out of left field there, that guy. This is the guy with the hair, right? He and I have a similar hairstyle.
Lore, a.k.a. Masterminds behind Lore Master Lore Josh Allen.
Lore for Josh Allen?
No, Lorthamar is currently the Regent Lord of the Blood Elves. A lot of people sit there and make the joke of Lortha Who because he's been so inactive all throughout Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm, and now it's we're going to shove these guys into the limelight, And he's pretty much the dark horse that has come up out of nowhere for being Warchief.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I as I mentioned, I mostly do play Alliance. I haven't really played a ton of Horde side in World of Warcraft. I've seen a little bit of him particularly on the PTR, in the 5.2 PTR. There's some sort of stuff going on with him and Jaina on the Isle of Thunder, and there's some other stuff with the factions. He's kind of the sort of opposite to Jaina, as in we've got Jaina on the Alliance side leading the Kirin Tor stuff, and he seems to be her opposite. So he was kind of inactive before that, though. Is that right? He's just kind of hey, hi, Isle of Thunder. This is my thing now. Yeah,
he's pretty much come out of nowhere, basically. I know
so
that.
How does that make him? How does that make him an option?
It's mostly a smoke and cover dislike that he's been doing. In the Jaina book, he kind of sits there and says, Garrosh, yeah, I'm for the Horde. And Garrosh is but I'm Warchief. He's you might be Warchief now, but you won't be forever, So he's very much a smoke and cover guy and doesn't openly dislike Garrosh, but he'll do it behind his back. And so he's great.
Is what you're saying.
He is very... It's Ranger. He's a Ranger, but somehow he still has that warrior mentality that's Varian Rin,
So do you think Lorthamar is kind of is he a good candidate or not really?
Not really. If I want to be honest, he has no love for politics, even though he quote-unquote adapted well, according to some of his advisors. During Wrath of the Lich King, he was easily manipulated by Silvanus because she was just sitting there going, oh, I'm going to remove my Forsaken if you don't send a couple of elves out to Wrath to take care of Arthas, And there was a point in 5.1 where he almost joined the Alliance.
Wow. That's kind of another great thing for a Horde Warchief, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to appoint the Warchief, somebody who may have defected back over and became a turncoat to the other side.
Exactly.
All right, so,
he's all right.
But there was somebody who had a theory on the forums who was just this would be the perfect opportunity. Alliance has a Blood Elf who almost went Alliance as Warchief.
Can you imagine, I mean, I guess on one side, it would be the Alliance have got someone on the inside who's gone right to the top, a secret agent on the inside.
Yeah, unless he's a secret
Horde.
agent. That's what I was going to say. This is a secret agent spy. I don't know if that's really a good idea, but I don't know if I want any sort of
it might be a double bluff, and he might be just
Could you imagine if the president was a secret agent? I don't know if I'd want that. He kind of is a secret agent. All right, maybe it is. I don't. All right, let's go back. So he's probably so Lorthamar is probably not the best candidate. Let's talk about Voljin then, because that's what everybody's really talking about as well. Why do you think? Why is he a better choice as Warchief?
The nice thing about Voljin is that he actually thinks about the people and he will listen to whatever they have to say. So he's extremely diplomatic and strategic. He was pretty much on the strategy council with Thrall when he was in charge. So when he's back in 4.1, yeah, that was the troll patch. He actually went across enemy lines and warned the Alliance, hey, Zul'Gurub, Zul'Abad, let's take out some trolls.
Yeah, true. But then it's like, what about Thrall? You brought him up earlier, and like, I mean, my God, I would be. I mean, okay, I'm an Alliance player. It's not really my business to get all annoyed about the potential for Thrall coming back. But man, if he comes back again, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so mad. Like, do you think he's got a realistic chance?
Blizzard stated a few times last year, which was before Mists of Pandaria was really released, that he might be reinstated as Warchief once Garrosh is removed.
Man.
However, there are people on the development team that are also sitting there going, we talked about this before we had any idea what was going on. Take it with a grain of salt.
So do you think he's just going to, like, if he does, do you think he's just going to be like, swoops back in and is like, sorry. Hey, I'm back. He's going to like, moving straight in there, like, for
he just like steps in, he's like, hey, see that tabard? That was mine.
Yeah.
I'll put that right back on.
No, unfortunately, with the way that he's pretty much evolved right now, he feels that he's better off helping Azeroth recover from Deathwing's destruction and the defeat and calming
Still doing
down.
that Kata thing. He's just like so last expansion.
I know, he's and then on top of that, at the end of like Jaina's book, they like have this big huge confrontation thing, and towards the end she's just like, yeah, I hate you because you put Garrosh in charge. And that was the end of their friendship, basically. So he knows he is now disliked on the Alliance side.
That would be just incredibly interesting, though, if he just swoops back in and takes his title back. And
Yeah. I mean, like, maybe he would be like,
all of a sudden they
less
just cue Rocky theme and just like he's back.
montage of the steps.
I haven't seen a lot of talk or seen much of Silvanus at all in Mists. Like, what's up?
Where the heck is she been?
Yeah, what is she up to?
Silvanus has pretty much been she's the front protecting Silvermoon City, excuse me, because she's on Eastern Kingdoms, the same continent that Stormwind is on. So if Garrosh does something to make the Alliance angry, they're going to like swoop right up the continent and basically hit Silvanus first, go on through, some special portal that she's got to Silvermoon City or take a Zeppelin or whatever, and she's the back door to Orgrimmar. So she's been preparing for the worst.
Yeah, she's been like hanging out up there for ages. They're gonna pull a Theramore on Undercity and just be like, boom, there you go. How do you like that? Is she pro Garrosh? Is she anti Garrosh? Like, do we understand her stance on him?
She really she does not like him being in charge. He really blames her for, basically having like the same mentality and everything as the Lich King. Wow. And he's constantly like having, orcs, the Corcoran, sitting there, big guards in Undercity, making sure that she doesn't do anything bad because somebody else did something bad in Undercity. She's just not really much happiness.
Yeah, I don't feel like she's very trusting either. I don't know necessarily where I get that from, but I feel like she might kind of want to sort of stand on her own and not be too closely allied with other Horde forces.
She is very much pro Forsaken. Like, they are really her people that she watches out for. There was a point where like Garrosh was using them as basically cannon fodder against Gilneas, and she was just like, no, they're mine. What are you doing? Doesn't want to share her toy. And sure. It also goes back to the betrayal that happened at the Wrathgates during Wrath of the Lich King. So
she's been openly against Garrosh. Do you think that there's any chance, and I would love Silvanus to be Warchief, I like her. Do you think that there's any chance that she would like come and take a Forsaken army and help out, or like be the sort of force that overthrows Garrosh? Do you think there's any likelihood of that?
There's supposedly a chance that she might show up with like 5.4 maybe, but with her kingdom basically being in the Eastern Kingdoms, she kind of has sort of the same issue that Lorthamar would have if he became Warchief, because it's a continent away. Who would keep an eye on her people while she's gone? Yeah,
that's a good point, actually. So, speaking about the Lich King, there's been a bunch of Horde players on the forum saying that they want this dude called Saurfang for Warchief.
Who?
So, yeah, who? There's another who?
Another who? Wait, I need to learn. All right, who is Varrock Saurfang? What was that? Like a Sour Patch Kid?
Yeah. Saurfang was the second in command during Doomhammer's claim to the Warchief title during the First War. So that was basically right after the Orcs came through the Dark Portal the first time. So he was huge. And like when the bloodlust was lifted from the people, he was absolutely appalled by everything that he had done on Draenor into the Draenei and everything else that happened, and he had to help other like orcs have to deal with those consequences at the end.
Okay, so hang on a minute. Like, let's just wind this back. Why it's like he seems even more out of left field than Lorthamar or even Silvanus. Like, why is he coming up? Is he just someone that the Horde players miss or love, or what's the deal there?
Well, Saurfang was grudgingly respected by Garrosh because he basically did not like sit there and be like, you know, you shouldn't act like your father, you know, just stay in your place. And he pretty much openly like called out Garrosh every single time he had a very rash and reckless thought plan going during Wrath of the Lich King. So he's up in Northrend right now, you know, doing his thing, the last we heard.
Chilling.
And there was also a time before the Shattering happened that Thrall would have appointed Saurfang as Warchief.
All right,
So
so
what
why didn't he
happened
actually Warchief back then? Yeah, what's the deal?
Well, remember we went into ICC and we had to face that wonderful Saurfang Junior as a Death Knight. Oh man, that raid was so much fun. Longest scene ever. So his son's dead. He had like that literally just sapped the last of his passion that he had. So he decided to remain up in Northrend during the Cataclysm stuff, and we have no idea where he's at.
He's sort of gone AWOL since his son passed away.
Pretty much.
Kind of interesting. There's some
Interesting.
Some
All right,
there.
so out of all, I guess they'd all make possibly good Warchiefs, maybe some better than others in their own way, one or another. But if you had to pick one, I mean, you said there were two choices. Which would you stand behind the most of being the next Warchief?
I would definitely have to go with Voljin. As much as everyone missed Thrall, I don't miss Thrall. I'm kind of hoping that the sound files from patch 5.3 indicate that he might die.
Yes! Kill him! Kill him already, kill him now!
Sorry for him to
Let's
go
kill
away.
him! Let's have Jaina kill him! Kill him!
That seems like the kind of consensus. All right, Voljin. Olivia D. Grace, follow her on the Twitter at Olivia D. Grace. And of course, go over to GameBreaker.tv and check out all her World of Warcraft coverage right here on the GameBreaker TV. Adrian Clark, follow her on the Twitter at Lil Missy4205. You might bump into her on the forums and our chats as well. And now, host of Conspiracy Craft. Hey, if you guys have questions for the show, we should start doing viewer questions on the show as well. If you guys have questions for the show, send them to submit at GameBreaker.tv. Not questions for me or Liv. Questions for Missy.
Challenge me!
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
on!
Challenge Missy! To be like that.
Challenger! Send them in, submit at
GameBreaker.tv.
GameBreaker.tv. And if you guys have video questions, we'll take those as well. So, use the YouTube, post up the link, and send it to submit at GameBreaker.tv. And we'll see you next week for some more Conspiracy Craft.